All right, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Well, today's a big day. Today is the shakedown of the Mutt. We're here at Detroit Ford Fest in Holly Oaks, Michigan at Holly Oaks OFF-ROAD Park. Said it's going to be the first test for the truck. We're here with Riding Shotgun Adventures, Build It, Wheel It, Explore It, Jeff, Jason, a bunch of people. We got a whole bunch of people here today. And oh yeah, and my mom's here too. So shout out to my mom. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go get registered, get everybody locked in, loaded up, and we're gonna hit the park. So we'll see you out there. Wish us luck. All right, we just got done walking the vendor aisle, checked out all the stuff, and we're getting ready to hit the first trail here in the park. So got my boy Jason all loaded up, and let's go see what we get into.
Taking the easy service roads all the way to the North 60, so you can kind of get a lay of the land.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, this place has changed a lot.
Wait till you get in the back. It's cool.
Wow.
If you want to follow me, Brian, I'm going to do a cool flexi washout.
It's funny, at the time I thought John had said he had found a cool and sexy washout, which really didn't make any sense to me. But now that I listen back, I understand that he said cool and flexi section, which makes a lot more sense. So yeah, I didn't expect to jump right into it like this. Didn't really know what I was getting down into, but hey, might as well just jump right into it and figure out what it's going to do. So here I ran into my first problem of the day. The truck didn't really want to turn left. It just kept wanting to drive into that wall. I finally got it around the corner here, and once the front tire kind of dropped down in the next hole, I couldn't climb out of it. The truck just kept wanting to kind of dig itself over and kept leaning harder and harder to the right. So you'll see we discovered a problem.
the driver a little, Brian. Little driver coming up. Just to get up on it, and then once you're on it, it'll... You're not... Are you locked? Are you locked? I would have thought they were an X-Chase.
Hey, come on, man. That pop can's followed you all day long. With only
No, but-
one locker. What
Okay, we're back at the parking lot already, unfortunately. Did a couple little technical spots. Worked pretty good, flexed really good. But that front hub will not lock in, so I only got 3-wheel drive. Got up into a little spot, got a little hairy, it wouldn't turn. So had to bail out on that one. So we're gonna get this ripped apart. I got some drive slugs, may throw that in there, and then we'll head back out there. Okay, got this figured out. Apparently, just when I put the hub on, I didn't have this lined up quite right. These Yukon lockouts, you got to have it, the dial in a locked position to assemble it. And I must have had it off a little bit. Maybe it was off one whole bolt or something. I don't know, but got it apart. It's locked in now, so we're good to go. So we're gonna go back out. We're gonna hit it again now. Oh boy! There goes Lisa and my mom and Jeff. I don't know if it does have lockers. I don't.
got to. No tires spinning wrong.
Look at that piece of cake. Didn't even spin a tire.
See how them soft tops go down?
So now we're playing on the man-made concrete mountain there they call Mount Magna. This would be considered, I guess, the easy side of it. I'd only done it maybe one other time or two, so this is all kind of new to me.
I didn't think he was one-shotting right away. I don't think he was solo. It must have felt so good.
So this gave me the perfect opportunity to test out my doubler for the first time. So I went ahead and I locked it in double O and gave it a shot. So this is on the backside of Mount Magna, which I was told they call the waterfall. This is a much steeper, kind of a two-stepped climb to get up. I had never even attempted to put my wheels on it in my Bronco 2. It was just way too steep. It unloaded the front end way too much. So this is my first time ever attempting this. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I did this whole thing in just single low. I never even tried the doubler, which was kind of dumb. So after this, we ended up at the rock crawl area, they call it, which in the past has really made my Bronco 2 struggle, and I actually broke it on there. So it was very redeeming to come over here and basically pick whatever line I wanted to do and just watch this thing crawl up with basically no problems whatsoever. And I even let somebody else take a stab at it too, just so I could see what it looked like.
Locker on. Aim your passenger tire for that big rock right there. Okay, go passenger. There you go. Little passenger more. There you go. Passenger. A little harder. Right there. Pretty much straight out from there. Yep, straight up. All right, we survived. Had a few little issues. Had to put that drive slug in. Something's wrong with that lockout. It just wouldn't work. Tranny cooler, the fan was not coming on, so I gotta check the wiring for that. But other than that, man, did good. Very impressed. Love the low. The doubler in there is a game changer. Suspension seems to work really good. Truck feels way more settled and planted than Gilligan the Bronco 2 ever was. So I'm very happy there. Great day. I think nobody broke, nobody had any problems. All the guys did good. Even the newbies did good. So that wraps up today anyway. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little different in this video. I want to do an overview of how yesterday went. This is the day after, obviously. So I want to talk a little bit about the problems that I had with the truck, the things I was really happy about with the truck, and just the day in general. So the day in general, Holly Oaks Off-Road Park for Detroit 4 Fest. This is, I believe, the 4th one they've had. It's the 2nd one that I've been to. I did the first one with Gilligan, my Bronco 2. A very cool event. If you're in the Michigan, Ohio, Detroit area, it's probably worth traveling even farther than that to come check it out. Really cool event, organized very well. Lots and lots of vendors. They did a ton of giveaways, all kinds of prizes for stuff. Unfortunately, I walked away empty-handed, but they did give away an all-expenses-paid trip to King of the Hammers next year, which is crazy. That's got to be stupid expensive. So the park was set up really cool. I hadn't been there in 2 years. The park had changed greatly since the last time I was there. So it was like being in a new place for me, basically. Just we hit a couple spots that I had done in the past, and the rest of it was basically all new to me. So it was a really fun day. We hit some stuff that was challenging enough to put this through its paces, and I'm very happy how it turned out. So yeah, that was a good day. I'll definitely be back for more Detroit 4 Fest events for sure. Okay, so as you saw in the video, I did have a few problems with the truck, which is to be expected in a new build. The first thing that hit me was when we got into the very first obstacle, when we got into the park, it was kind of a winding V-notch, and got right down inside there, and for some reason I was having trouble making the turn and trying to climb out of it. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and everybody started, yelling like, "Hey, are you locked? Are you locked? Your front axle's not pulling." So it turned out I had a problem with my front lockout on the passenger front corner. Not sure exactly what the deal with that is. I took it apart. I thought I had it fixed. We went to go back out into the park, and just in the drive back to the park, it wasn't working still. So fortunately for me, I carry a set of drive slugs, or flanges they call them, from Yukon. Went back to the trailer, took 5 minutes. I just took the lockout off. I put the slug in. We were good for the rest of the day. So that's something I got to look into to see what was going on with that. Second problem I noticed was it took a while, but the tranny temp started getting up to about 210. Not a dangerous area, but just higher than what I thought it should be, since it has a front-mounted tranny cooler here in front of the electric fan and the radiator, and I have the additional auxiliary cooler under the bed with its own fan. When you're slow crawling like that, you're not getting a ton of airflow through this one. So I wouldn't expect this tranny cooler to be enough in those conditions, which is why I added the second one. But for some reason, the electric fan was not coming on. So I wasn't getting the additional benefit of that other fan. So all I had to do was something with the temperature probe that goes in the line. I ended up disconnecting the wires for that, jumped them together, and just had the fan. So it was basically just wired right to my ignition at that point. So when the truck was running, the fan would run, and that would take care of that. But I got to figure out what's going on with that. I might eliminate that temperature probe altogether and just have it set up so when the truck is on and it's running, that additional fan is running. It's a small electric fan. It doesn't create a lot of draw. I see no downside to doing it that way, other than I might put a switch in it to defeat it, because like in the winter time, probably won't need it for the cooler temps. So I'll probably just have it set up that way in the future. Also, I'm pretty sure the location that I put the transmission cooler on this is not getting adequate airflow to it, so I may have to rethink how I have the tranny cooler mounted. The power steering, I never lost power steering or assist, but I did notice I was belching some fluid out around the cap, down the pump, was leaking down onto the front axle. At one point, we thought it was belching out and leaking on my exhaust. If you saw in the one climb on the backside of Mount Magna where the big couple puffs of smoke came out, that turned out not to be the power steering. It was just my window washer fluid. The hose that I have on the bottom of the window washer fluid is just a little bit loose, and when you get it up on that angle, fluid ran out, dripped off my inner fender apron right on the header, and that's the poof of smoke you saw. So I got to fix my washer fluid bottle too. So, but power steering was good. I never lost assist. I just need to, I think I need to remount the cooler for it. Not a big deal. So with those few shortcomings, I'm going to say the trip was pretty successful. Could have went a lot worse. I honestly, I was expecting having more problems with stuff, honestly. But man, if that's the worst of the problems I had through that day, I'm winning. I couldn't be happier with it. So yeah, I'll just probably do some fluid checks on the gearboxes, make sure all that stuff's good. And I think after I fix those few things, it's ready to full send on the next trip. So very happy. Okay, so now I want to talk about the things that impressed me the most about the truck. And comparing this truck to my Bronco 2 Gilligan is like apples and oranges. I am completely blown away how this truck performs, especially at the same park and on a couple of the same exact obstacles that I've done in the Bronco 2. So I have a really fair comparison between the two. And this thing is amazing. I can't believe things that I literally struggled and broke on. You go back in the channel and you watch, I have a video from Detroit 4 Fest from a few years ago. You'll see I broke the rear drive shaft on the rock crawl section. And I went to the rock crawl section with this truck, and I pretty much picked 4 or 5 different lines. I even let somebody else drive it just so I could see how it performed on there. And it just crawled up it like nothing. Like it's like in cheat mode or something. It's crazy. So the suspension, very happy with the suspension. Even though the front is exactly the same as what it was in the Bronco 2, it works great. The truck is very planted, very stable compared to the Bronco 2, and I attribute that to the way I have the 4 shocks, 2 per corner up front, which is really helping stabilizing the front, even though I don't have an anti-roll bar up front. But the TK1 Racing anti-roll bar in the back, it made a huge difference. Climbing those hills, climbing the Mount Magna, there was never a point where I felt uneasy, like, it started getting tippy and I felt like it could keep going like it did in the Bronco. This truck never did that. Also, climbing them steep hills, the Bronco, a few of them I wasn't able to do, just because the front end would get so light. Number one being the shorter wheelbase, and where I had that spare tire hanging off the back of the truck. I think where I mounted the spare tire in the middle of the bed of this truck was a great idea, because it just, you can see in the videos, it didn't struggle. It just, the video does not show how steep some of those hills are and some of them climbs are, and it just crawls right up. Never felt anything. And even in the video, you can see the front end, because it's a radius arm suspension, which has a tendency to want to push and separate the body from the axle. And this truck did not do that. It looks like it stayed pretty well parallel, the chassis to the axles, and it climbed very easy. So I was very happy with that. The doubler, good Lord, the doubler, that is a game changer. I am so happy that I went that route over the first combination that I was going to use. The truck does amazing in low with just a 2.48 to 1. I never, you know what? I never did try just using the doubler box with the transfer case in high, which would have gave me a 2.72 to 1 low. Should have tried that. I didn't even think about that till right now. But with it in low, which was like, I don't know, I got to do math. I'm not good at math. I think it's 5.2 to 1 when it's in double low. Some of them climbs and the rock crawl sections, I've never had control like that in the previous truck. The throttle control, just the wheels, it was amazing. I am a huge fan of the doubler, so that was great. And this might not be something very big in regards to the tires themselves. It may be just because of the combination of all the other things I just talked about. But the truck seemed to have traction for days, other than in some sections where the tires would get wet and muddy and you got to clean them off, obviously. But Method B drip wheels, the BFG KM3s, I had them aired down to, I believe at the end of the day, the fronts were at 7, the rears were at 10. Traction for days, it did amazing. So very happy with how all that went. No complaints whatsoever. So I'm going to say building this truck over the Bronco 2 was worth every penny, worth every hour, worth every cut, scratch. I'm very happy I did it, and I'm really looking forward to the next trip. So all that being said, this will complete this video. So just wanted to kind of give an overview of how the day went and how the testing went with the truck. So I may do this from now on. I know, according to my analytics, not a lot of people stick around to the very end of the videos, which I guess is pretty common. So, hey, if you're here watching this part, thumbs up to you. I appreciate it. So, again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Appreciate the views. Leave a comment if you got any other questions about anything with the truck or how it did or whatever. Hit them up down below. Pretty much answer every question I get from anybody. So, we're probably not going to be taking it out again for about another month. And when we do, we are going to be going out with Discover 4x4 Adventures, very good friends of my family's. And we're going to be hitting S'more out in Missouri for the Big Rig Roundup. Really looking forward to that. Should get pretty rowdy. It's going to be some really capable rigs. I think it's pretty safe to say this might be one of the least capable vehicles that's going to be in that group. So it'll be interesting to see how it does against some big hitters. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.